Hello, my dear students. Welcome to science class. So we are doing chapter number 5, separation of substances. So this is your chapter from your science NCERT book. So let's see what we are going to learn today. Today we will be learning about two new methods of separation of mixture, that is sedimentation and decantation. So, from our previous classes, we have learned that there are 10 different methods of separation of mixture. Okay. Now, this method of separation of mixture, it is based on the physical properties of the mixture. Alright, so we have already learned about threshing, winnowing, hand picking, sieving and magnetic separation. Today we will be learning about decantation, and before learning about decantation we will be knowing about the process of sedimentation as well. Okay. So these different methods of separation of mixture, they are based entirely onto the physical properties of the mixture. Okay. Each of these methods of separation, it is followed for different individual mixtures. Okay. So let's get started. Now, first of all, you have to know what is sediment and what is sedimentation. Now, suppose we have a liquid which contains some solid particles suspended in it. Okay. So this is suppose a liquid. It is there in the beaker and it contains what? It contains some solid particles suspended in it. Okay. Now, if this liquid is allowed to stand undisturbed for some time, okay, if you keep it in rest and undisturbed for some time, then what will happen? You will find that the heavier particles of the solid, it will sink to the bottom of the beaker. Okay, here you will find that it is sinking. Right. Now, you have already learnt in chapter number 4, sorting material into group, that is the particles which are heavier than water, they settles down at the bottom. Okay, so similarly, as because sand is heavier than water, so what happens? It settles down at the bottom. Okay, now the solid matter which settles down at the bottom of the liquid is called what? Is called sediment. Okay, and the deposition of solid matter at the bottom of the liquid is called what? Is called sedimentation. This process of sedimenting, okay, the particles at the bottom of the liquid is called sedimentation. Right. Now, after sedimentation, we generally get two layers. What are the two layers? The upper layer is of the clear liquid. Here you see, this is the upper layer. It is of clear liquid, and lower layer, it is what? It is sediment. Now what you have to pour, you can now separate this clear liquid into another beaker. Okay. By what? By pouring. Okay. Now, this pouring of liquid from a vessel without disturbing the sediment is called what? Is called decantation. Okay. Now, here you can see, this is the water. Actually, it contains what? It contains the insoluble impurities. Now, if you keep it rest for some time, then this insoluble impurities, it will settle at the bottom. And this process is called what? Is called sedimentation. Okay. Now, if you want to separate this clear water from this insoluble impurity, then what you have to do? You have to pour this clear water into another beaker. Okay, without disturbing the insoluble impurities or the sediment. That process is actually known as decantation. Okay, so what is the definition of decantation? The pouring out of a liquid from a vessel without disturbing the sediment is called what? Is called decantation. All right. Now, the solid particle, as I have already said you, which are insoluble in a liquid, they can be separated by the process of decantation. For example, a very good example is a mixture of sand and water. Okay, mixture of sand and water, as I have already said you, that it contains sand particles suspended in water. Okay, so the sand can be separated from sand-water mixture by the process of decantation. Now we will learn how this process of decantation is being done. Now here you see the sand and water. Okay, it is taken in a beaker. Okay, it contains sand particles scattered throughout the water. Now you allow this mixture of sand and water to stand undisturbed for some time. Now on keeping this undisturbed for some time, what you will find the heavier sand particles, it will settle down at the bottom. Here you see heavier particles are settling down at the bottom of the beaker. Now this layer of the sand, here you see it is known as what? It is known as sediment. Okay, and this process of deposition of sand at the bottom of beaker is called what? Is called sedimentation. Right. Now, when the sand is settling down, the clear water, it is left above what? It is left above the sediment, okay, or the layer of the sand. This is the clear water. Now, what you can do, you can pour this clear water into another beaker. This is another beaker gently with the help of a glass rod. This is a glass rod, okay, without disturbing the sediment of a sand, right? This process is actually called what? Actually called decantation, right? So when all the clear water has been poured out, what you will find? You will find that only the sand is left at the bottom of this beaker, okay, because this entire liquid you have poured it into another vessel. So only this sediment is left behind. Okay, so in this way, a mixture of sand and water has been separated into sand and clear water by the process of decantation. Now, this process of decantation, it is basically used in our everyday life. I'm giving you one example. Like you will find that rice and pulses they are bought from the market, they usually have dust or soil particles as impurities. Now, this rice, if they are having insects or big stones, then they are generally separated by the process of hand picking, isn't it? But fine particles, dust and fine soil particles, they cannot be separated by the process of hand picking. Okay, so you will find that your mother, she is always washing the rice or pulses before cooking. Okay, now here you see when we are adding water to the rice or pulses taken in a vessel, then what you will find that the impurities such as dust and soil particles, they get separated and they mixed up in the water. Okay, due to this what happens, the water it becomes little dirty. You will find the water is no more transparent. In that case you will find that the water, it has become what? It has become opaque, oh sorry, translucent in that case. Okay, now what you will find, as because the rice or pulses, as because they are heavy, they remain at the bottom of the vessel. Okay, here you see they are remaining at the bottom of the vessel, and the dirty water, here you see this is a dirty water, this is not a totally transparent one. Okay, and this is what? This is dirty, and you will find as because the rice particles or the pulses, they are heavier than water, so it is settling below. Okay, and this water, it contains what? It contains the dirt. Understood? Next, what you can do, you can separate it by tilting the vessel. You can separate the rice and water by tilting the vessel to one side. Okay, so when rice and pulses, they are washed with water before cooking, then the water, it is separated from them by the process of what? By the process of decantation. Okay, decantation, it is also used to separate water from some vegetables after boiling. Okay, suppose you have you have boiled chicken, okay, and you want to separate the chicken stock from the solid pieces of chicken. In that case also, by tilting the vessel slightly, you can separate the stock from the solid chicken pieces. Okay, now decantation, this cannot be done, or this cannot be used for separation if the solid dissolves in the liquid. In that case, you cannot able to do that. In that case, you have to use another process for separation. That one we will learn in the next class. For example, if sugar dissolves in water, you all know salt dissolves in water. In that case, can you be able to do this? Because salt, it does not sediment below, or sugar, it does not sediment below. So in that case, decantation cannot be done. For that case, you have to follow another method which we will discuss in our next class. Okay, now this method of decantation, they can also be used for separating two immiscible liquid. Okay, immiscible liquid means what? Which do not mix together. Best example is oil and water. Okay, now when you put some oil onto a glass of water, what you will find? You will find that the oil is floating above the water. Why? Because oil, it is lighter than water. That is why it is floating above. Okay, it never gets mixed. Okay, now a mixture of water and oil, it is allowed to stand in a glass or a beaker. So since water and oil are immiscible, they form two separate layers. Here you see, it is what, two separate layers. Oil is there, this one is the layer of oil, and this one is what, it's a layer of water. Two separate layers it forms. Okay, water, as I said you, being heavier, it forms a lower layer, and oil, it being lighter, it forms what, it forms the upper layer in the beaker. Now, how you can separate this oil and water? You can decant off the upper layer of the oil into another beaker carefully. Here you see. Simply you can decant it. Okay. Water, it will be left behind. Okay. Now, it should also be noted that the separation of two immiscible liquid by decantation is not very satisfactory. Okay, a better separation of two immiscible liquid can be done by using a separate funnel, and that process you will read in higher class. Okay, and also the separation of two miscible liquid. For example, if I mix vinegar in water, okay, these two are miscible liquid. Or if I say lemon juice in water, these two are miscible liquid. You cannot separate that by the process of decantation. Okay, because they are miscible liquid which mix with each other to form a single layer. Alright, so this is all about the process of decantation. In our next class, we will be learning about another method of separation of mixture. Till then, thank you everyone.